What is up, guys? Welcome to another video, and today we have got another Ask Hippo. This is the series where you guys ask me questions and I answer them, and it is as simple as that. We go through all of the comments down in the comment section, you know, from last week's episode, and we're just going to go through them, and that is exactly what we're going to be doing in today's episode. So we've got a lot of questions this week to go through, so without further ado, let's get straight into this week's Ask Hippo. Alrighty, so first up we have Nathan Gaming, and he has 3 questions. His first question, if you told your friends at school you did YouTube, what would their reaction be? If you could have any car and the freedom to do anything with it, what car would you choose? And number 3, what would you rate project cars out of 10? So number 1, how did my friends react when I told them I do YouTube? It wasn't really a secret. When I actually started taking it seriously, it really wasn't a secret. At the start, I kind of, you know, I got a lot of slack for it. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, there's a lot of people who just there's like a weak point almost, and I was a bit insecure about it. But then once you kind of get used to it, and you know, you just brush it off your shoulder really. Like, I was the first one, you know, in my whole like year to actually get a job through YouTube. I'm the only one that has been given, you know, a certain opportunity. Like there's a lot of things that YouTubers gave me that no one in my school can say that they've had, and I think that alone it's more rewarding, you know, knowing that people, you know, they thought you were a bit nerdy and now you're being given all this, and you know, I like the fact that, you know, although it wasn't like the quote-unquote coolest thing to do, I've stuck with it, you know. I didn't give up just because there was a bit of hate. Like, I stuck with it, and I've actually, like, I've done rather well. I think I've done rather well for myself, and I think it's only going to get bigger. And you know, I mean, we've been here for almost 3 years, but by the end of this year, it's going to be 3 years. So honestly, can't see myself going anywhere soon. But yeah, I got a bit of slack for it, but not so much nowadays. Number 2, if I could buy any car, everyone knows that would be the R32. And what would I rate project cars out of 10? I'd give it a solid 7.5. It's nowhere near a 10, but it's definitely not like a 5. It's definitely a solid 7.5. It's a really good game, and I'd recommend, you know, to pick it up if you've got a wheel. I mean, I've already talked about project cars and my opinions on it, but yeah, I do really like it. I think it's a really good game, and you should definitely look into it if you are a big fan of sim races. Okay, the next question is from Feely and the Dragon, and he's got 3 questions. So his 3 questions are, what level of cosmetic damage would you like to see in Need for Speed 2015, and should it impact performance? And number 2, what's your favourite off-roading game? And number 3, who's your favourite character from the Need for Speed franchise? So number 1, cosmetic damage. I'd like... see, honestly, I wouldn't want to see bumpers flying off and stuff. I like my car, especially when it's customised, to stay rather intact, like Underground 2 and Most Wanted. I wasn't a huge fan of, like, say, I don't know, some of the older ones where you know, bumpers would stop flying off, because there's no point customizing a car if you're just gonna like wreck it to pieces anyway, if you know what I mean. So I'd probably like something similar to Underground and Most Wanted. Should I think it should impact performance? If it's a spike strip that you've gone across or something across those lines, then yes. But should, you know, going face first into a wall impact performance? I don't think so. The only way that that performance, in my opinion, should be impacted is through spike strips or, you know, whatever else they manage to put in the game. Number 2, my favourite off-roading game. I don't really play many, but I'd definitely say probably one of the Motorstorm games. I played them earlier on the PS3, and I quite enjoyed that. I think it was the Antarctic Storm or something across those lines. I played that one. That was quite good. But yeah, probably one of the Motorstorm games. I don't really play too many off-roaders, but that's probably up there. And number 3, who is my favourite character from the Need for Speed franchise? Brookbeck. No, I'm joking. It's not Brookbeck. That's hard. I mean, really realistic. Ryan Cooper was pretty. Well, that was the player. You can't really say Ryan Cooper because he was the player. Cross was a pretty badass. He's like, I love to hate him. I think Cross, I just love to hate that guy. He was such a prick, but he was so cool. He was just such a cool guy. So yeah, I'm gonna say Cross on that one. Okay, the next question is from ProSpeed77, and his question is, what is your dream garage? And I'm gonna limit this to 3 cars. So obviously the R32 would be in there. The Lamborghini Murcielago 2002 would be in there. 2002 Murcielago, sorry. And, oh, the third one. What would I have for the third one? Ooh, it's quite hard because there is a lot of cars out there. There's a lot of cars to pick from. Maybe the third spot, it's always a hard one. Like, I've been asked this question a few times. You know, the R34. You know, recently is it the 953 Porsche? That is really starting to tickle my fancy. You know, the F50, the F40, the 360, the FD, the FC. You know, the list goes on really. There's just so many cars which I'd have. You know, for certain it'd be the Murcielago and the R32. But what would my third one be? I honestly don't know. I think the third one is the one which I'd have to sit down and actually think about for a long time. The other two are quite easy, but I don't know. Maybe the Devil Z, the 240Z from Wangan Midnight. I don't really know. It's a hard choice. There's a lot of cars out there, like I said. So honestly, not sure. Maybe a Gallardo or a Huracan. I don't know. I really don't. Okay, the next question is from McRacerGT2, and he's got 5 questions. Number 1, which racing games have the best car sounds? Number 2, Project Cars or Drive Club? Number 3, an orange R32 or a yellow R32? That is such a weird question. And number 4, if Need for Speed just stuck to exotics, would you think it would be old or out of date? And number 5, do you need permission to do Let's Plays for games like Need for Speed or The Last of Us on YouTube? Okay, so number 1, what car game has the best sounds? Now, this is quite hard. Forza has good sounds. You know, even Need for Speed, to an extent, has quite good sounds. You know, the sounds in Need for Speed are really well done. Really, Forza and Need for Speed are probably the ones with the best sounds. Gran Turismo is obviously out of it. Burnout had quite good sounds. Burnout was quite good. I'd say Forza. I think Forza really get their sounds on point. I mean, it does get a bit repetitive. I mean, all the cars don't have unique, you know, sounds and stuff, but they do a good job of doing it. I think it's not half bad. So I'd say Forza on that one. I think they have really good sounds. And number 2, Project Cars or Drive Club. Every single day of the week, it'd be Project Cars. Number 3, an orange R32 or a yellow R32. For me, it doesn't really matter. An R32 is an R32, and I wouldn't have, if I got an R32, it wouldn't be in either of those colours. I'd just wrap it again anyway if it was in one of those colours, so I wouldn't have either. Number 4, if Need for Speed were just stuck to exotics, would it be out of date or old? No, I think it just wouldn't cater to fans' tastes. I think that's the main thing. If they stuck to just exotics, you know, it's become blatantly apparent that the tuners and just generally, you know, tuner culture is becoming a lot more popular recently. And if they didn't go ahead and do that, it wouldn't make sense. Then they just wouldn't be catering to fans' tastes, and I doubt they will. I think they will have a tuner-based game. I'm 100% certain. I am honestly 100% certain. If they don't, then I will literally eat my hat. I will eat my hat. But anyway, question 5: do you need permission to do Let's Plays on YouTube? Okay, so this is weird. Like, I've heard in loads of places that you do, but I've never asked for any permission, and I'm fine. So I guess the answer to that is no. I've heard all types of stuff. For some games, the policies are different, but for Need for Speed and the games I've played at least, nah, I haven't asked for any permission. I just go ahead and upload it to the internet. And my view on this whole situation is, if you pay for a game, you pay to do whatever you want with that game, whether it's record it and putting it on the internet, whether it's, you know, modding the disc, whether it's, you know, whatever. As long as you're not, you know, harming other people's experience, you can do whatever you want with that disc or that game or that whatever. And that's just how I see it. So I just go ahead and do a Let's Play, to be honest. Okay, the next question is from Professional Drift, and he has got 2 simple questions. Do you think Need for Speed 2015 will have different race modes like drift and drag? And number 2, would you rather have the Liberty Walk Aventador or Huracan? So, number 1, do I think it's going to have different modes? I sure hope so. I would love to see drift back. I was never really a big fan of drag, but I think it's definitely a possibility. I mean, Underground 3, like, that's what partially it was known for. You know, I would absolutely love to see the Street X events come back. I'm not sure if you guys remember what those were. It was basically you were driving normally around drift track without any NOS. It was just bare bones, hardcore, you know, racing. I would love to see that coming back in Underground 3 or Need for 2015. I would absolutely love to see that. And number 2, Liberty Walk, an Aventador, or Huracan. I'd say the Huracan. I'm not a big fan of the Aventador, but I love the Huracan to bits. It just every little thing, like there's nothing wrong with that car. It just looks so freaking nice. So yeah, I'd have to say the Huracan, definitely. Okay, the next question is from Flatful Gaming, and he has got 3 questions. So number 1, the Unicorn or Friedrich Asbo's TC. If you don't know who Friedrich Asbo is, he's a drifter, a Formula D drifter, so yeah, you can Google him if you don't already know who he is. Number 2, a fart gun or an RPG. And number 3, which old muscle car would you have? So number 1, I would rather have the Unicorn, for the basic reason that shit looks cray, and it was in Need for Speed No Limits, so yeah, GG. Number 2, I'd rather have an RPG, because and number 3, my favourite old muscle car is either the 69 Camaro or the 69 Mustang. Okay, the next question is from Shark LK, and he has got 4 questions, even though it says 5. His first question is, are you more liberal or conservative? Obviously, linking back to the elections last week. Number 2, do you have more close online friends or in real life friends? Which that actually quite interesting to talk about. And number 3, how much time on technology is too much in your opinion? For example, you know, being on your iPhone, Xbox, tablet, etc. And his last question is money or people, which is got quite an obvious answer, really. But yeah, number 1, am I more liberal or conservative? For me, I am more conservative. If I were to vote, I would vote Conservatives. So I'm not going to go on about politics because a lot of people don't find it that interesting. But yeah, I'd definitely go Conservative. Number 2, do you have more close friends online or in real life? Now, this is a weird one. When I look at this question, I'm thinking, you know, there's a good bunch of friends in real life, you know, that I probably will talk to after I leave school. But then there's a big bunch where, you know, I'm probably not going to talk to them, you know, probably just fade out, nothing too big. And then I go to my online friends, and like, I like, honestly, like, it's not dependent on whether I'm at school or not, you know. I'm going to talk to these guys, you know, for the foreseeable future, you know. You know, I like Speedway, Tuners, CJ, Daz. I'm gonna miss someone out. I'm really gonna miss someone out. So literally, I can go on for days. You know, like there's so many people here who are, especially online, are like I will talk to after I, you know, say leave school or leave YouTube, whenever that ends up being. You know, so honestly, I'd say online friends. Like surprisingly, it's surprising to me that, you know, YouTube and, you know, making videos has kind of equated to having that, but, you know, it's true. Like, a lot of the people in my school, like, I'm not going to talk to them after I leave school, you know. There's a lot of people I'm thinking of off the top of my head who, you know, after I leave school, I'm probably just going to end up losing, you know, contact with them, and that is just genuine. That's the sad truth. And I don't know. There is a bunch of people that I will end up talking to after I leave. And I know names, but obviously I'm not going to say names on here because otherwise I'll probably get a bit of stick at school. But yeah, I'll probably say online friends, to be honest. I really do. And that's mad, you know, if you are making YouTube videos, be prepared for that. Like, that is something that I heard about before I did YouTube, but then I never thought, nah, that's not going to happen to me. But it did, and it was weird. And it's still happening today, you know, I'm still making new friends, you know. So, yeah, sorry if I missed your name out when I was mentioning online friends. I didn't really mean to name anyone specifically, but hey-ho. Number 3, how much time on technology do you think is too much? I don't think... This is a bit biased, obviously, because I'm always on technology and computers. But in modern society, I don't think there is, like, a certain time that society should, like, obey by, in a way. Like, if you're on technology, you're on technology. That's how it should be, you know. Like, obviously going outside, getting your fitness is all good, and, you know, being social and just getting some fresh air, it's always good. But as long as, you know, you're controlling it, like, sensibly, and you're not actually doing anything ridiculous, then it's fine, you know. Like, I spend a lot of my day on a computer, but I kind of need to be. You know, I do ICT for A-level, I make videos, I have a website to manage, you know, there's a lot of things I need to do, and I think, you know, as long as you know, you're managing it sensibly, you know, you're not unhealthy because of it, it's fine. And his last question is money or people. it's obviously going to be people. You know, money only gets you so far. But if you haven't got any people to celebrate it with you, then it's a bit pointless. And then obviously, you know, even if you haven't got any money, there's always people there to help you and talk to and stuff. So yeah, I mean, that's just me. I mean, obviously other people would say otherwise, but people are more important than money, especially if they're close to you. I think so, yeah. Okay, the next question is from SilverFox687, aka Charlie, aka the Unknown Gamer, and his question is: would you rather own a pink 8.6 with an 8.5 engine, or a wrecked R32? Definitely the R32. I'd take it. You know, get a new RB26, pop that in. You know, redo the suspension, get some new coilovers, rims, all that jazz. You know, get some new turbos straight from Nissan, the stock Nismo and turbos. I'd buy them. You know, I'd actually get a lot of stuff from the original manufacturer if they were available to give it to me. I know a lot of places still do that. You know, if you contact Nissan and ask them for refurbished R32 parts, they'd probably give it you for obviously a pretty extortionate price. But that's probably what I'd do, to be honest. I'd get a lot of Nismo parts, put them on, boom, bish bash bosh, real good nosh. Okay, the next question is from Rochelle, and his question is: would you like to see a story similar to Most Wanted 2005 and Carbon story, where you go from a flashback and then you start from the bottom all the way up and so would I like to see basically a Most Wanted 2005 prologue? In short, no. I'd like Ghost to do something unique and not basically, you know, just copy off Black Box and do something, you know, from that that perspective. I would like them to kind of do something new and inventive. I don't want them just to, you know, literally like copy and paste Black Box. And I think that's something that a lot of people kind of suggested. You know, why didn't you just make Underground 3, copy and paste it? I would have bought that game. You know what? I would have bought that game too. But would it have been Ghost's game? No, it would have been Black Box's game. I want them to do something unique and different. And as for the story, I want them to make their own story, to be honest. I want them to put a story into Need for Speed 2015. You know, if it's Underground 3, then, you know, I'd love to see a story. But I don't want it to be linked to Black Box's games. I don't want it to be linked to, you know, Bayview and Olympic City. I want that. I want Olympic City, Bayview, Portmont, and Rockport all to be in a separate entity. And then I want your kind of Ghost Games entity where it's got, you know, Redview County and all that kind of stuff, and that's all over there. You know, I want to keep them separate in a way, and this is something you're only going to understand if you're kind of on my wavelength right now. But I kind of want to keep them separate. I don't want to have you know, them two mixed up together, because that could lead to all sorts of confusion. You know, story conflictions. I mean, there's a lot of, like, on the surface, the story doesn't seem that deep. But especially if you watch, say, I Am the Most Wanted and all those Need for Speed Theories guys, you will notice that the story goes a lot deeper than you know, initially think. So I honestly wouldn't want them to touch the Black Box games / stories. If they're gonna do, say, an Underground reboot or a Most Wanted reboot or something across those lines, I want them to keep it completely different with their own take on it. You know, not what Criterion did. That's not Most Wanted. That was just Burnout Paradise Wanted. I want them to, you know, keep the essence of Underground there, but I want them to have their own take on it. And I think this is what I'm starting to realise now, is that if they had police in the game, I kind of wouldn't mind. Like, it is their own take on Underground. In my opinion, it doesn't suit an Underground game, and that will forever be my opinion. But if they were to do it, I don't think I'd be 100% annoyed, for the basic reason, like, it's their take on it. You know, they are going to be doing some things different to say what Black Box did, and I appreciate that. I want them to do something different to what Black Box did. I don't want them just to straight up copy Black Box, because that can lead to a whole bunch of errors. And, you know, obviously we would just, especially me, I'll get annoyed, because it's kind of just paying for a game that we've already played, and I don't really want that. And that's just my opinion on the matter. I think I really want Ghost to get this game and make it unique to themselves. I don't want them just to copy Black Box or copy, you know, previous developers. I want them to get this game, you know, take it by the grasp and just completely, you know, give the best go that they can, and make it unique and make it something of their own, and not something of Black Box's. Okay, the next question is from Mr. Black Ice 01, and he's got two questions. Did you like the Need for Speed movie, and should they make an NFS TV show? If so, what would you want it to be like? So number one, Did I like the Need for Speed movie? Yeah, I liked it. I saw it on release weekend, I believe, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. I think that's mainly because I enjoyed the games, obviously, and it kind of just leads me to like the movie a bit more and be a bit biased. But I thought it was alright. You know, nothing Fast and Furious 1 or 2 related. Like it wasn't on like that level. But it was good. It was good. It was better than a lot of the recent Fast and Furious. I'll say that much. And number 2, if they were to make a NFS TV show or online miniseries, what would it be like? So what my vision for Need for Speed TV would be like? It would be like so you have your devs and you have, you know, all the people at Ghost are working on it, and then at the same time you have YouTubers who come on, you know, and promote the game and whatnot. I think that'd be really cool if they were to do that. If they were to have a YouTube channel, you know, where they had all types of YouTubers, you know. Imagine me, CJ, and Speedway doing an NFS like a video on the NFS TV show channel. That'd be so mad. That would be mad. But I think having that community aspect would be really cool, and I think it'd make the series look a lot better. It'd make EA look a lot better. I mean, we all know EA are cunts through and through. So to have like an NFS TV show, that would be pretty cool. And to have the community involved, that would also be very cool. I don't think having it on TV would be very good, because obviously we know YouTube is a lot more successful than TV. So I would prefer like an online mini-series. I think that'd be a lot cooler. Maybe where people would, you know, maybe something similar to SUH challenges, you know. You have a bunch of YouTubers, they all do the challenges. The person who wins the most at the end of the season wins, you know, or something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. But will it ever happen? I doubt it. And, you know, I prefer to have it on like on content creators channels over, you know, say a big NFS TV show channel. Although it would be cool, I think it would kind of take away from the content creators in a way, and that's why I'd prefer to have it on, obviously, the content creator channel. But I think that'd be a cool concept, and I'd be more than happy to join in. So if Ghost, if you're watching this and you're planning NFS TV, sign me up. Okay, the next question is from Nathan GGGG Steels, and his 3 questions are: do you plan to go to uni? If so, what do you want to take? If you had to blow up in either an Xbox One or PS4, which one would you do? And if you were to compete in a gaming competition, what game would you do it for? I'm assuming that he could pick any game. Like ever, so I'm just gonna pick one afterwards. But yeah, number 1, I am planning to go to uni. I'm planning to take a video editing course. Obviously, as you can tell, I'm alright. I'm alright at it. I'm not bad. So I'd love to do that. I think that'd be really cool. If I had to blow up in either an Xbox One or PS4, which one would I do? If I had to take one of mine right now and blow it up, I'd say I'd blow up the PS4. I've used the Xbox One a lot more. And I think overall it'd probably be the cleverer decision. And the last question is, if you had to compete in a gaming competition, what game would it be for? I think if I had to pick a game to do an esport for, any game of all time. Fucking hell, there's a lot of games. Forza 4 could be quite cool. Pro Street could be quite cool. Undercover could be quite cool. Underground, you know, all those games. I think Forza 4 could actually have a really, really good, you know, competitive side to it. Obviously being a track racer. Project Cars, another one. You know, it'd definitely be a track racer. I don't think it would be an arcade racer. I think Forza 4, honestly, would be... Imagine that, a competitive Forza 4, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, I'd love to do an esports in Forza 4, because it's definitely got the potential to have something like that, and I'd love to see that personally. Alrighty, and the last question of this week is from the Speedway Gamer, and he's got 3 questions. So number 1, what DMB bands do you like? Oh, I froze them for a second. Yeah, so what DMB bands do you like? Your most underrated movie, and what type of cars would you race? So number 1, I don't really listen to much DMB bands, I guess. Pendulum, obviously. Is it The Prodigy? I want to say The Prodigy. They're quite alright, but I don't really listen to too much DMB. I listen to just a lot of weird stuff. So yeah. My favourite most underrated movie. Most underrated movie. Underrated movie. Toy Story 3, you know. People think that's a children's movie. No, Toy Story 3 was hardcore. But whenever someone asks me a story question, a movie question, I always say Toy Story, just because it just defines what's good about filmmaking. You know, Toy Story 3 was so good. So yeah, Toy Story 3. And number 3, what cars would you race? No, I'm against racing cars. You shouldn't do it. It should be illegal. You know, if you're gonna pimp up a car, it should be, you know, for a purpose, to make it faster. You know, to make it more aerodynamic. Rice should be death to all rice, my friend. It's just not cool. And that rounds it up for this week's Ask Hippo. Holy moly, we're almost at 25 minutes. It seems like these episodes are getting longer and longer by the week, but that is no issue by my standards. So yeah, that was it. That was this week's Ask Hippo. If you guys enjoyed, please hit the like, subscribe if you haven't already, and all follow all my social medias down in the description below. You can do so at your own wish, and I will see you guys in the next video. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, stay safe, and I will see you later. Peace.